Hello guys, it's a warm welcome back to the channel. Today's subject is all about time. I hope you've got the time to listen to this, because I've got the time to tell you. Time. What do you think it is? The reason I'm making this video is I was on my other channel, and I am plugging my other channel. This is a Big Picture El Panorama. As you're aware, if you follow me on that channel, I have received one or two comments about the fact that I'm too old, or I'm an old guy doing what I do on that channel, which is interview beautiful girls on the street. And it has prompted me to make this video, because what is old? All age is relative. All time is relative. Think about this. If you're 2 years old, 50% of your life represents 1 year. If you're 100 years old, 50% of your life represents 50 years. But if you want to compare it to the 2-year-old, 50% of the 2-year-old's life represents 1 year. 1 year of the centurions, it's a centurion, I can't remember. 1 year of the person who's 100 years old represents 1% of their lives, which means the older person has a completely different perception of time than the younger person, because 1 year to the younger person is perceived to represent a much longer period of time. You've probably, yeah, of course you have. We all have experienced how time can appear to move quicker when we're doing something we enjoy, and vice versa. Well, this just goes to reinforce the argument that time is merely an illusion. During the French Revolution, I think it was Napoleon, I'm not too sure if Napoleon came up with the idea, but let's credit it with during the French Revolution, around about 1792, the French adopted decimal time, or metric time. And it's fascinating. You can Google it, there's videos up about it, blah blah blah. Metric time is what it says it is. It's basically time divided up by tens. It contrasts with the system we use today, well, what we've been using for centuries or millennia, I think, the Babylonian system. Because the system of calculating time that we use is based on the base 60. I'm not a mathematician, obviously, but it's called sexagesimal. That's it, sexagesimal. There it is there. The sexagesimal system. So that's why we have 24 hours in a day, and 12 months in a year. Everything is divisible in 6s and 12s and 60s. And this Babylonian, I can't even say it, system, sexagesimal system, has stood the test of time. Let's go back and talk about the French and what their experience was. Metric time, or decimal time, was used in France between 1792 and 1805 or something like that. Again, I'm not quoting statistics specifically. And they had clocks made up with 10 hours in a day, and so on. And if you want to get the conversion, there's conversions on the internet of what 1 decimal hour represents in a sexagesimal. There you go, hour. And the French continued to use this for, say, a 12-13 year period. And what happened was, why aren't they using it now, or why didn't they continue to use it? It was a combination of two things. One, it wasn't necessarily as practical as it sounds, and the second one was religion. And I'll explain it to you now. The day was broken up into 10 hours. The week was broken up into 10 days per week, with, what was it? I think it was 3 weeks representing, that's what it was, 3 weeks in a month, each week representing 10 days. But you see, there lies the problem. Because out of 6 months of the year, we have 31 days in a month. So therefore, they were left at the end of the year with 6 days left over. What they did was they decided to carry forward these 6 days and leave them as holidays at the end of the year. And they actually had names given, Day of Liberty Day and blah 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 day. So at the end of every year there was a 6-day holiday thing, just to use up the days that they didn't use during the 30-day months. But this was working away. But I think it was whatever Pope it was. The Catholic Church objected because the decimal time didn't agree with the teachings of the Church. And God created the earth in 7 days, and the day was represented by 12 hours. So therefore, it was deemed to be, let's say, it wasn't in keeping with the religious doctrine at the time. And of course, religion was a big thing back then. So coupled with the fact that they were running into problems with their 6 days holidays, and as well as that, the working week, a 10-day working week, who would want that? You know, so it didn't work out as well as the French thought it would. But that's just an example of how we can divide time whatever way we damn well like. And it just highlights the fact that time doesn't really exist. We have to compartmentalize it. We have to make sense of our existence by measuring it in definitive sections. Therefore, how old are you? How old am I? Well, I am talking to you now 1 month off my 58th birthday, which means obviously that I've been on the earth almost 58 not revolutions, but orbital cycles of the earth around the sun. We define it as a year, but it's only defined as a year out of convenience, because what we have to define it as something. So our illusion of time is just that. It's just an illusion. Time can appear to move faster. Time can appear to move more slowly, and depending on what you're doing. But one thing's for sure, that the older you get, the faster time seems to go by. It's our perception. I have been in Thailand for 10 years, just almost about 10 years, and it doesn't feel like that. I can't tell you what it feels like, but it doesn't feel like 10 years. The older I get, the more aware I am of time, of my time, and how long I will live. And I am more aware of it, so much so that I try to do as much as I possibly can every day. And that's all we can do. Do as much as you can and enjoy your time. As Oscar Wilde, one of my countrymen, once said, sleeping is the closest thing to dying, so don't do too much of it. There you go. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the time it has taken for you to watch this video. The time it has taken for you to watch this video will differ from the time it has taken somebody else to watch this video, because maybe they paused it and made a cup of coffee. maybe their perception of the time it has taken to watch this video is different because they either enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it. So guys, I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Click the like button, click the share button, do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon, if I have the time.